playing today. But this is a deck I think we played one league of. It went pretty well. We played against it, someone playing this build, and they turned to Ugin against us. I went ahead and added the second basic land to be a bit more resilient to Knight of the White Orchid Phantom type effects. But I think that this is the best Ugin shell. It's just very good at casting it very quickly. It's very good at digging for it too with Mystic Forge and K Command. You're a lot more resilient to land hate because you have access to the artifact ramp package with like Mox Opal, Chalice, and also Fleshraker for the ramp. And I don't know. Generally, like, it just kind of seems like the Eldrazi gamers are mostly interested in just still playing the ramp Eldrazi, when I just think there's so much room for innovation here. So I want to get at least one more league in with this week, and potentially after this league, lock this deck in for the Challenge Friday, depending on how it goes. On turn 1, we can go Cornucopia or on 0, or Chalice on 0. Probably Cornucopia so we can cast Chalice into Coretapper, Chalice on 1, play Surge Node. On the draw against Boros, my favorite way to play Magic on the draw against Boros. Okay. I think Mystic Forge is a little bit better than Karn in these spots, but I could be wrong. We can cast either one next turn. I might want to see... If I see Ugin, I might want to keep Ugin. Okay, there is an Ugin, so we need to make that decision now. So if I could draw Ugin right now. I can go... Play this on 0, Coretapper, block Ragavan, sack. Next turn I have 4 mana, versus I could have 5 mana instead next turn. Yeah, I think we just keep Ugin. I think Ugin's going to be the best thing here. We just wait to pop off till turn 3. And because we need the extra mana now, because we're going for 7-drop instead of 4, I'm going to be playing this, hoping to dodge Static Prison. If we draw a Labyrinth, we can turn to Ugin. My opponent goes Sad Face. I guess that means they have Static Prison. Did you play the Magdamoss Jasper deck? No, I think Canister... Like, that was another thing about... I haven't cast Mox Jasper. I think Canister's build looked great. I thought he did a great job building it. I looked at it. I spent some time thinking if there was any way I could improve it. I didn't think there really was. I thought he did a great job, and... for me, I think what's interesting about this stream is I'm working on my own stuff, and I'm trying to innovate over here, and I don't know if there's just enough stuff to do. I don't feel like I just want to play Canister's Magdalus, you know. Oh yeah, maybe they're sad facing that no response. I should have responded. Eating with the 2, thank you, welcome back. My one concern with Dice Factory is you get blasted by Karn, so the mirror seems like... Yeah, that's true. Although, you have Fleshraker to sometimes contend. Okay, I would love to draw the Labyrinth and get my turn 2 Ugin. That'd be so cool. Okay, not quite that lucky, although certainly was asking for a lot. So I guess I'm always doing this. And then I can go... Fleshraker, Chalice on 1, or I can go Chalice on 2. Fleshraker, Chalice on 1 seems a good bit better. And I have 7 mana even if I block the Ragavan with the spawn. Although I will say about that Eldrazi comment, a lot of Eldrazi lists are just not are just not playing Karn right now. Which I think is wrong. I think the ones that are playing it are better, but there's a dynamic. Oh, let me update the title. Okay, pretty good. Gonna draw a card here. Like, this is the only Ugin deck we've played so far where it's like, yeah, Ugin is fucked up, and this is the only deck where it really feels like we felt like it would feel. Am I on the sunglasses though? You kill lands with Ugin. I think that card's bad. You could maybe play one in the sideboard, but I don't think it's very important. We have like the Paradox Engine combo kill, so it's like it doesn't seem that necessary. Do you like this over a Tron version? Yeah, I do. It's like, so one thing is if you play Tron, it gets really weird. Where I think if you're playing Tron over the Dice Factory package, because you need to play Temple, you need to play Labyrinth, and then you need to play 12 Tron lands, and you need to play 4 Expedition Map. So like that by itself is 20 lands, 4 Expedition Map, and you need 1 basic, so that's 25 for that package. And so at that point, that's 25 lands, no Urza Saga, and you don't have room for Opal, Chalice, Surge Node, Coretapper, Power Conduit. Like, it's just, at that point, your deck has too many mana sources. So this deck gets to play Urza Saga, Power Conduit, which is really powerful. You get to play fewer lands in general. We're only playing 15 with 4 maps. You get to play Mox Opal. And also, it's no secret that the Tron builds are like weaker to hate cards. Like, you're weaker to cards like Break the Ice. You're weaker to like any single piece of like this land destruction. Well, basically the same hand. I guess no Devourers, but... Yeah, only one map. It's a Urza Saga target also, because we're not playing Tron lands, so like you don't want to play maps if you're not playing Tron. Now I need to think, do I want to cast Power Conduit right now, basically? I think no. So like one thing about map too that's really important, like the main reason map is in the deck, is if you have Power Conduit Urza Saga going and you don't have a payoff, you can map for Inventors Fair, then Inventors Fair for a Mystic Forge. And this is going to happen a pretty solid amount of the time because you have so much mana in the deck, then you don't always have enough to do with it. Instead of Forest, why not Cavern of Souls in a Basic Waste? You cannot get Basic Waste off Beseiju. You must have something to get off Beseiju. Okay, so let's go Coretapper, Sack here, Glaring Fleshraker, Expedition Map. And then let's sack the map for an Urza Saga to go with our Power Conduit that's in our hand. What was the basis for casting Surge or not turn 1? I don't have Surge Node in my hands. I'm a little confused. Yeah, so like, I mean, we also have very few creatures in our deck, so it's not like Cavern of Souls is good, but like I'm playing the True Forest because I genuinely think they're the best flex spots. You just being way more resilient to Beseiju, White Orchid Phantom, Cleansing Wildfire, Ghost Quarter, like Titan Eldrazi plays a Ghost Quarter. I think it's just more important than playing like a Fomori Vault or a Cavern of Souls or whatever. Oh, the Power Conduit. Oh, well, we had nothing to like take the counters off of for Power Conduit, so not sacking the Coretapper turn 1 gave us 1 more mana this turn. You get an extra charge counter this way. Yeah, where was the charge counter? Oh, actually, this way. Yes, this way. This has been my favorite deck to play at Modern so far. Just respond to that. To make sure Devourer and Fleshraker stick against Consign. Yeah, I mean, Cavern wouldn't be the worst, but we're definitely, again, way less creature focused. I would play Fomori Vault as an extra utility land if I wanted one. But I think it's just better to be more resilient. Is Forest the best basic? It doesn't fucking matter, really. Like... Forest bluffs Haywire, my Swamp bluffs Dismember. We have neither. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so my Glaring Fleshraker is dead. If I draw a land, I can Ugin. If I don't, I'm going to play a Big K command. Is Mardu Siegebreaker just too slow? Not something I'm interested in trying. Let me reread Mardu Siegebreaker. Yeah, so this card is like Felia, with better stats that doesn't it doesn't scam Overlord, which is the best thing to do with Felia. So I'm not super off this card necessarily, but I'm also not the most interested in cards like this that are like, maybe this is good in Mardu Energy, but Boros is probably still better. It's kind of like how we never got around to testing Alesha. You know, it's just not the most interesting, unfortunately. Oh, I drew an Ugin. All right, so we'll go make mana. Make spawns, exile creature. I make spawns, exile creature. Exile. And we also have Saga Power Conduit going. Keep a cat token. That's on me. My gift to you, opponent. Take your turn. Yeah, this is the Ugin deck, I think. Dang, barely got any value out of our Ugin. Can cast another one next turn. Okay. So they Molten made my Ugin's Labyrinth instead of my Saga with Power Conduit because Ugin is that scary. So that's a pretty good review. So we get to scam our Saga, get to start making tokens. I am at only 6 life. Is my expedition map is also already used, which is like usually my payoff when I have a bunch of mana, so can't do anything about that at the moment. That being said, I got a lot of mana. I'm going to be making 2 constructs a turn. Like, it's pretty cool that they had like such a powerful aggro draw into maybe the best 2 cards, Molten Rain, Static Prison. I guess Blood Moon would have been better than Molten Rain, but like they had this start and then they're just still pretty dang behind. So Molten Rain, one of my Sagas. I'm going to take 2 more down to 4. Pretty good top deck for them, of course. Also, they're now a fetch land away from escaping the Flage, so might need to draw something. Obviously, we have Karn, K-Return, Devourer of Destiny, Ugin. Sorry, K-Command, not K-Return. Okay. That's the card. I guess I'm going to not make a construct, so let's... Like, I just want to make as big a K-Command as possible. Probably want to Stonebrain Flage if you draw Karn. Maybe. I might be able to combo off with Paradoxical Outcome. So I'm going to have 8 tokens here. So I can go cast Ugin, exile cat token, draw a card, draw Mox Opal off the Ugin, cast Mox Opal, exile Static Prison. Oh, shoot. I forgot to leave the opal on top, and I can't undo. Oh, sorry, also. Yeah, I agree. I think it seems like we'll be okay. I'm going to leave this back because of the Flage situation with the Surveil land. Or they're also going to sack the Static Prison here. Okay, worst top deck possible, GG. Oh, they don't concede. So I don't draw a spell to maybe pop off with Paradox Engine. We get the Mystic Forge. Could have devoured Static Prison for Ugin back. Could have. Only 15 lands in our deck. 2 being on top is a little unlikely. Not that we are going to use any complete equity this game. Isn't it reasonable to put 1 monument in the sideboard or to be win more? Okay, if you're going to suggest a Karn target, that's of course fine. I would love if you tell me which one you don't like. Which of these 15 cards do you not like? If we're going to keep this. I'm not in the mulligan K-Command business. I think they might Chalice and 0 me, so I'll just play this out. I might want to exile the Spawn token to not get Karned next turn. Although if they're playing Crystals, they probably don't have Karn. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play a Chalice here then. Could be better to go X equals 2. But then we have another. Then we get to play 2 big K commands instead. So they have a Myco Spawn. It's okay. I think. Thoughts on new Narset in a Wreck deck? I mean, I do like the vision of being able to draw a bunch of cards and play those cards on your instep. But in practice, like, I don't know, like, Narset's really good with, like, Mox Opal, Mishra's Bauble, Mox Amber, and Wreck is good when you have, like, a pretty high curve, so I don't know if it actually would ever end up working out. So they rumble over an Emrakul the Promised End. They have 7 mana left after this. They could probably just cast it, right? Sorcery, creature, instant, lands. Oh, I guess maybe not. Yeah, I guess not. Well, we may want to be exiling their graveyard. We don't need to do that right now. What makes you return this brew so many times? Is it just fun, or do you really think it has a lot of potential? I think this is like the best Ugin deck of the format, so I'll say, yeah, I think it's got a lot of potential. Okay, so do I have enough mana to go Karn, Paradox Engine, Fleshraker? I think I do. So Karn, Engine is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I am 1 short, actually. Karn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 1 short of comboing off. Too bad there's not an imprintable here, I guess. So maybe I do this. Can't you just Fleshraker to Karn for an extra 1? Wait, is that mana positive? I don't know if that was mana positive. If it is, obviously we should have done it. So here I'm going to K command and I'm going to try to set up for a Mystic Forge that can maybe generate a lot of mana here. Maybe just kill my opponent with Fleshrakers. And if I can't, then we go a different direction. These turns are always so tough. I guess I'm just going to end up going bottom. So draw Karn, cast Mystic Forge for 4. Oh, sorry. Then I'm 1 short of doing the thing. All right. So we'll just save the Forge for next turn, and we're gonna go Karn Tormod's Crypt. You can Karn for Bridge. I think Karn for Crypt is better, because, like, what do we care about besides this Emrakul? Not really anything. I guess it goes Stonebrain Emrakul also. This gives them a card, though, and I go minus on spawns. So, like, maybe they could rumble into Emrakul. Seems like it would be pretty unlikely. Ooh, I can also cast the Mystic Forge now, which has some very small chances of continuing to pop off with Mox Opals in my deck. I mean, I am making mana here. Oh, wow. So now I have 3 mana. This costs 7. I have 4. Pop the Crypt. Your turn. Yeah, the whole Spike, do you think this deck is fun? There's a lot of potential. It's got a lot of potential, and I'm pretty confident it's the best Ugin deck in the format. Like, what was that? That was turn 4 after getting Stonebrained or Stone-Rained by the Myco spawn? It could be both. Yeah, I mean, I think it is also fun. Okay, so they make a bunch of spawns, and then they exile my Fleshraker. We lose our Karn. We might get Emrakul next turn still. I'm feeling pretty good about my spot still. How do you beat Ugin? This is our Ugin. More fun than the Archway nonsense. Archway nonsense is maybe the most fun in Modern, but this one's been pretty good. Okay, so if they're casting something else here, they maybe can't Emrakul me. Although if it's Myco spawn, maybe they can. So if they get a temple, they'll have 8 plus 2 plus 2. So yeah, 1 just an untapped land away from Emrakul. Oh yeah, I guess I should have sacked the Karn to Annihilator, but also the this Cornucopia isn't really doing anything. Yeah, that would have been the better one to sack. They get a Surveil land instead of the 4th temple. Oh, the fourth temple's in the yard. Okay, how much mana do I have? I've got 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I'm just going to go ahead and charge up the Cornucopia. Then cast the Karn and then see if we find a cheap spell on top to just easy Paradox Engine, or if we need to do something more fun and complicated. This really punishes me for tapping the other... sacking the Cornucopia... and doing the other stuff here, so fair enough. All right, if I go Paradox Engine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm still 1 mana short, so I guess we go ahead and cast this. Okay, perfect. I can't imprint the Ugin, I guess. I'm probably just going to Stonebrain Emrakul. I could Ballista X equals 2, which puts them at a 7. Yeah, it's just not enough. Could you have Paradox? No, I don't believe I could have Paradox Engine combo because I needed to cast a spell after it. That was certainly my plan A, and I was just 1 mana short from what I could tell the whole time. But maybe I miscounted somewhere. We get a Paradox combo with Imprint. I could cast Paradox Engine, but I couldn't cast another spell after. By understanding, if I could have, let me know how. Emrakul, the Promised End. So they have 2 of those in their hand. They have 2 Ugins. They have no Karns, so this matchup will be very easy. They're also... Wait, how are they only playing 2 Emrakuls if they're not on Karns? It's funny that they're both in their hand too. So you get to draw 2 cards, but your deck is basically empty. What are we sacking to our Null Drifter? I guess to the Karn if they attack the Karn. If they don't attack the Karn, Surge Node. This is maybe the one situation Sunglasses would be good. Maybe. What's all the sires? I genuinely don't know what's up with all the sires. I mean, I guess Boros is popular, so that might be it, but surely like your K return Ugin build is enough like prep for Boros. Karn Lab. Yeah, I don't know what. So Karn is being attacked by the Null Drifter, so we will sack here. I guess I'll block. Good versus oh yeah, prowess is probably the thing with Sire. That makes sense, yeah. It's even though like I my brain knows that prowess is like a good popular deck in this format. My heart still has a hard time like thinking about it. Karn Lab for Annihilator. Well, I just sacked the Karn to Annihilator. But I would certainly not sack an Ugin's Labyrinth for Annihilator here. They found a Sire. Maybe we won't be able to figure out a win here. Okay. Probably can now. Okay. I didn't find another spell. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 15 lands in the deck. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm too short of Karn Engine again. I guess we can go for an Ensnaring Bridge potentially. I might want a Cityscape level instead. I think we might as well. We might as well Ugin draw a card, and then we can just play the bridge after. We might get Besaged. Did not Besage and Worldbreaker. I mean, they have those in their deck. What line did you want to take? What? As always, I'm dying to hear what line you would have taken. Sincerely, I want to know because this is a very complicated turn. We don't know that they have those cards in their hand, just that they have them in their deck. So they have K Command, they're looking for one of them. I was suggesting Bridge was bad. I was answering another chatter suggested opponent to Bridge. I see, thank you. Yeah, we lost to aggro a few times with Battle Crier in a row. I do like the Dragon build the best. Our first league went pretty well with it. I think we showed off the idea, and I wanted to get to this today. They do keep a card on top, so they probably found a World Breaker. Dang, crazy game to lose. You know, only having 15 lands, like these like clumps with the Mystic Forge will happen sometimes, but we're just like so close to comboing off and just couldn't get it done. All right, let's go to game 2. Yeah, just Distorting Lens could have been a pretty important tool for this game. Like, let me double read this here. It does tap. Yeah, Painter Servant doesn't do what you want it to do. Yeah, I think there was two or three turns we were just one short of comboing off, and then that last turn we were just we had 2 looks at any non-Ugin spell. I think we maybe had enough mana for Devour, maybe not. They may have killed too many of my temples. Is Ugin worth cutting for lower cost cards since Mystic? I mean, we don't have like good cards to bring in this matchup, and Ugin at the very least is like big and tough and kind of difficult for them to deal with. Yeah, but it's not like I'm holding on to my Ugins in this matchup and I have a bunch of like really good stuff that I could be playing instead. You know what I mean? Okay, opponent's also to mold to 6. We got a pretty fun hand here. Also, like Ugins are Labyrinth imprintable. Okay, opponent has also kept 6. Your turn. Okay, so next turn I can go K command, X equals 4, make 5 spawns. Then I can go Karn, make a spawn, and then coating them maybe? Yeah, I guess it's fine to just cash this in. Would Ugin be worse at 6 mana because of Lab? It would be worse and better at the same time. I don't know. It's kind of tough to say. Obviously, we don't really have to worry about it too much. Actually, do I need to? Should I play around Consign? Yeah, I think I should just cast the command on their turn to play around Consign, or in response to a fetch. Because if this resolves, this game basically ends, and let's just try to make sure it does. I guess they could have K return. I wonder if they would leave K return in this matchup. Obviously, I have the Fleshraker, so they might. So let's see if they have the consign for the Karn then. Okay, they don't. So Ballista, X equals 3 is lethal. And we'll, elegantly do it without attacking here. Okay. So going to game 3. Much faster game 2. Alright. Can keep this on the strength of Devourer. If we can find a Lab or a Temple. Lab would be better, of course. But if we could find one of those with the Devourer, this hand really pops off. They're on a mulligan to 6 on the play. Having double Fleshraker is pretty exciting. I wonder if they did bring in K return if they didn't already have it for game 2. We find a Temple. Got to be happy with that. Maybe it's better to play Saga turn 1, actually. A bit worse against a Disenchant, though. Or a lot worse against a Disenchant. If I top deck another 0, we can at the very least cast both Fleshrakers next turn. This is probably a turn, possibly a turn 3 win. Okay, so now we go Fleshraker, Cornucopia, Surge Node. Oh, they have a consign. Okay. Only 3 cards left in their hand after that consign. Cast a Rumble. They mill over 3 lands. One of them is Cavern of Souls. The other 2 is Forest. And they graveyard a Nature's Claim. They choose the Cavern of Souls. Could be red mana for a Chrysalis, maybe. And they Rumble again. Bricking really hard again. Just mana. I mean, they maybe need this Eldrazi Temple. But they don't find any payoff if they're flooded. They do put the Temple into their hand. Now, we don't draw a land for this turn, which isn't great for us. Can still get some work done here. So they play Wooded Foothills instead of the Eldrazi Temple. They tap for red, so they probably have a Chrysalis here. Okay, so their hand is Eldrazi Temple Mystery card, and they're playing this to Surveil because their hand isn't very strong. We're gonna grab a Mox Opal. Oh, we could get Expedition Map. Oh no, the map is already in play. Okay, Mox Opal. Coretapper first. So I'm going to take 8 down to 5. Another K command is lethal. We don't find another K command, but we do find Mystic Forge into Fleshraker into... Hold on, so we go top. It's fun how this deck like combos off while mostly just being like mana and powerful cards. Yeah, this is lethal. It's like at least 4 over lethal because we can cast the Surge Node, which deals them 4 damage, and then the Power Conduit. So Power Conduit would deal another 4, so they're at -4, and we could potentially keep going too. So it's a pretty interesting hand here. I can look for a payoff off the Devourer because I can play Saga into Surge Node turn 1, Fleshraker turn 2, then turn 3 I can get a mana battery, and then I can play. Maybe I want to hold this actually. All right, I'll put another Fleshraker on top for now. All right, didn't find anything better. I do think I still want one of these. But now that I've drawn another copy, I don't want to play the Surge Node because it's just more valuable to be plus an extra mana and then extra 4 damage with the Fleshrakers. Okay, Boros again. Second time playing this matchup today. Crushed them in round 1. Which version of Prowess would you play? I don't know if it's in the Mox field, but I would play something pretty close to the Izzet build that we have in the Mox field. I would probably try to find room for 1 Violent Urge, maybe over like the 4th Preordain. But I think the Bedlam Reveler Stormchaser talent build is kind of silly because it's like a very grindy version of the deck in a format that doesn't really reward you for being very grindy, in my opinion. Okay, kind of interesting. I think what we want to do is go Surge Node, activate the Surge Node, just cast the Coretapper. A bit awkward that this Fleshraker has worked out kind of poorly, but we're not too far away from casting this Ugin. Next turn we're going to have 5 mana if we have to sack the Coretapper, and 6 if we don't. So if we draw a land or a Mox Opal, we can cast the Ugin if in the case that they don't kill my Coretapper. Is Tron the better build if non-consigned counters are a meta presence? I mean, Tron is like a lot weaker because it's like mana is way more easily disrupted. Although this build's mana is more easily disrupted if shatter effects become more popular. They're not super popular at the moment. Yeah, I would play 4 mana Morphos. I think. I think I had 4 mana. Maybe I didn't have 4 mana Morphos in my build. I usually play 4 mana Morphos in Prowess though. Let me just pull up my list actually. So this is this is basically what I'd play. I might cut 4th Preordain for first Violent Urge, and I might also just like stick with this. And then the sideboard's a little bit more in flex. Might get the Fleshraker back this match. I guess we could also still Ugin this next turn if we draw a Ugin's Lab. Very flavorful. Yeah. Alright, let me cast this Mystic Forge. 1 mana floating, cast the map. I think I'll get rid of the Coretapper. Obviously, you have to dodge another Static Prison pretty bad. Thoughts the Surgical Gutshot main, so you could trigger Store Killer without a creature for mutagenic growth. I mean, just neither of those cards are very good in the main deck right now, so and Steel Cutter's still good without them. You also can just go like 1 mana creature into Cutter mutagenic growth. So it's not like this is your only way to trigger Cutter turn 2 anyways. But like if Gutshot, if like Boros is really popular, and Boros is pretty popular, but so maybe I'm wrong, maybe Gutshot is better, but it's also like when you have Lava Dart in the deck, like how many of these deal 1 damage to creature effects are good. But if you feel like Gutshot's a good card, you can play Gutshot. I think I just kind of like, yeah, maybe I wouldn't play the Violent Urge. Because I think the Preordains are so good with the Steel Cutters. Right, they're hasting something. Voice of Victory. Goblin Bombardment. Okay, this is gonna be a lot of damage. So I'm gonna take 6 down to 10. This might be lethal. Because they're gonna make 3 more copies in their instep. I guess they have enough to put me to 1, right? Maybe I miscounted. Looks like I did miscount. Yeah, this is Xaxes. Wow, that was cool. Yeah, I think I messed up. It feels bad that like I kept this Fleshraker, and I think if I had done literally anything else with the Devourer, we could have cast the Ugin a turn sooner. Maybe. It's hella lethal. I mean, it was exactly lethal. So losing game 1 is worse since they get to bring in a lot of sideboard cards. We did 2 of them last time. Voice is cooler in Boros than Raptor. Raptor felt like a lot machine. Oh, lottery machine. Yeah, I think that the fact that Voice of Victory seems to be finding a home in Modern is a good sign for the health of the format. I mean, Mox Opal also triggers Prowess. Yeah, I mean, we had a like Narset, more Prowess-focused build that wasn't as good as the Ascendancy build. I do like that Ascendancy build a lot with Narset. It seems like most of the Ascendancy players aren't playing Narset, which is interesting to me because Narset's just been so good. It's very close. I have to mulligan, I think. It's not very good. I think I'm going to go to 5. Okay, this might be a keepable 0-lander. I hate saying those words, but I think it's better than going. I'm already on 5. So I can go 0/0/0, Surge Node. Yeah, I think I have to keep the Coretapper too, and just hope to top deck action instead of keeping the action, unfortunately. Is Storm Chaser's Talent not a better card than Soulscar Mage? I mean, look at our list. We're not playing Soulscar Mage. I think it might be better than Soulscar Mage, but the 1 toughness thing does matter a lot. But like, it's not versus Soulscar Mage. It's versus any of these cards. The 4s are for Beseiju effects. Why Coretapper over Forge? Well, it's just like right now our mana generation is very slow, +1 a turn. Yikes. Well, it's kind of interesting. The turn 1 Static Prison's a bit worse. Like we just like this just gives us so much more mana that I think we need to be in on it here. Land? Okay, kind of not in the worst shape, despite being in pretty bad shape. Like this might come home to us. We're 1 land away from having enough mana to cast Karn the following turn. But they also kept 7, and we're on a rough mull to 5, so we'll see. Well, the voice isn't, you know, the scariest yet. Do you think voice would have been too weak in breach meta? I don't think it would have really affected the breach meta so much, where it's like the whole Boros versus breach matchup was like, okay, so they're gonna have enough to pay for this forever. Like the whole thing with the breach metagame was like, Boros would just board in like 10 cards and hope that was good enough for sideboard games. Bowl 2 Bold Untold. Well, maybe we could have kept the 5. The 5 was not great. I think I would do it again. Seems they're going to be 1-1 against Boros. All right. 1-1 against Boros, 2-1 in the league. I think this hand is actually kind of deceptively very slow. Like at first glance, it looks like a snap keep, but it really just kind of doesn't do anything. All right, let's keep this. Let's put back the Power Conduit. This hand is much faster, especially if we can find a Labyrinth off the Devourer. With some stuff like Bone Crusher up the aggro matchups. I mean, Bone Crusher is not good against the aggro matchups, so it certainly wouldn't help very much if you felt like it would help. All right, let's take the Temple here. Like we had some Pyroclasms on the board, just something the Karn builds couldn't play, and the Pyroclasms were even good against Prowess. But yeah, but like Bone Crusher isn't very good against Boros or Prowess. It's like it's a pretty shitty removal spell. So they do grab a Flare of Denial. All right, go ahead and Flare. They're going to Flare the Chalice. Not flaring Fleshraker is kind of wild. I guess that this just means they have a bolt in their hand. Okay, they flare the Surge node. I like the Dice Factory decks you built. What I really want to see is a Power Conduit dot deck, which is built on stuff like Saga, Construct Search, each turn, and similar stuff. Well, we've certainly had some builds that are like more in on that plan than other builds. Like the 8 key decks. Okay, Dragonologist Revealing Murktide Regent. Interesting. Yeah, but we've certainly had builds that are more in on that plan. All right, I guess we tap like this so that we can K-command for a bit more here. Does seem like maybe my Coretapper gets flared though. Nope. All right, I'm just going to go X equals 2 here to play around another flare, just make some mana, try to get Ugin or Devour online next turn. I mean, and if they don't have it, like it doesn't seem like they have it, that's good news. Okay, do I want to cast a Fleshraker here? So I cast a Fleshraker, I'll end up with 2 spawns left over. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 is enough to cast a Devourer, but not an Ugin. I think that's okay. Athena, you want to go outside? Sometimes I can't tell. Wait, they flare that? I mean, I can still cast Devourer next turn. This is interesting, though. Come on, Athena, let's go fix. Okay, and then they must have bolted my Fleshraker, huh? Alright, we'll just devour the Murktide. I think I'm getting a little too cute. It was Flame Slash? I guess same thing, right? I wonder what main deck Flame Slash is in consideration of. I have seen a little bit more Yogg lately. Yeah, I don't know, though. All right, they're at 8. They got 3 cards in their hand. I got a 6/6 in play. Thundertrap Train in time. They reveal a Flame of Anor. I'm going to kill my Chalice. They have Flame of Anor for Narset. Well, I don't think Flame of Anor can kill Narset. I did help design the card. I actually suggested, though, that Flame of Anor, instead of dealing 5, could deal 3 damage to any target. And they just decided to keep it as 5 damage. Yes, yeah, so I would rather... Okay, they're killing both things. Interesting. I thought they would find a draw 2 there somewhere. So I'm going to exile the trainer so we can keep our 6/6 around. They didn't... I guess they couldn't have done this after damage. What do you think is the best game 1 deck? Eldrazi Titan or Affinity? I mean, between those two... sorry, Eldrazi Titan. Titan is the best one. For some reason, I thought that was all 1 deck. Yeah, I keep trying to figure out Dragonologist, Ephemerate, and... I don't know, it's just so... The Eldrazi matchup seems like such a nightmare. Maybe I should like Vincer Eldrazi. Maybe if Vincer was 3 mana somehow, which would be probably too good, but if Vincer was 3 mana and you could Savine's Reclamation it'd be so nice. Honestly, I mean, I'll probably work on the Vincer version because the Eldrazi matchup just seems like even with 4 consigned, it seems so unwinnable. But maybe Vincer is it. Could be kind of coped. All right, I'm probably not taking anything else here. Yeah, it just has to be the lab. Although we don't have a mana battery. What's my opinion on the 2 prowess lists? Blue-red versus Jeskai merging. I like Is It more than Jeskai. However, I think that people who play the deck more often than I do, or have been playing the deck, maybe I should say, would have a better answer than me. I haven't played very much of the archetype. It kind of just comes down to like how important do you think Prismatic Ending is? Like, do you think Prismatic Ending like how much does it affect your like Storm, your Boros, and your Amulet Titan matchups? And if you feel like the answer to all of those questions is it affects those matchups a lot, then it's probably something to play. And if you feel like it doesn't affect those matchups a lot, I just want to be playing aggro game 1 and then deciding into effective cards in sideboard games, then I think that's fine too. So again, those are the questions you got to ask yourself, I guess. Okay, we've been Blood Mooned. Everflowing Chalice. I think I'm going to wait on the Coretapper until I draw a battery. Again, Forest over Waste on account of the whole Beseiju situation. I'll reset the audio interface. Give me a second. As a Spell Pierce gamer, resolving this is really important. They also just might not counter it if it's on 0. Okay, fair enough. Again, really good for us that they don't have that second blue source in play. Gonna draw 2. Plays a Steam Vents, 4 cards in their hand. Just gonna chill, I think. Plays a Delta. Kicks a Thundertrap Trainer, so we may be able to resolve something here. They reveal a Lightning Bolt. And a Consider. Alright, not really being able to push anything. Let's keep the show on the road here. Go to game 3. Vincer Wreck with Riptide Laboratory. I mean, something you could do. Doesn't seem like the problem for Wreck's problems. Oh, or the solution to Wreck's problems. I guess I overwrote my Dragonologist shell with the Flamehold deck. No, I kind of do think, like, so again, I think I can maybe figure out the Dragonologist deck, though. with Vincer being like your finishing plan for the big mana matchups that you otherwise cannot really hope to beat. All right, gonna keep this. Good looking hand. Your turn. Meltdown incoming. Why would you type that in this chat? High Noon seems great against Prowess. Yeah. That is a good suggestion. I also, I think I'm skipping the gym today to work on the stream room a little bit. My back is also sore from like ripping up carpet yesterday, so we'll see how much progress I make on that tonight, and that'll kind of depend on how many testing hours I have. All right, I think we're just passing. And if they do Meltdown, I can K command for like 10, somewhere in that range. So yeah, we could go for it now. Then we lose. Then like maybe it's just good to go for it now. They get a force of negation though. I also, if they just don't have Meltdown, I might want to just make a Saga token. So now I'm hoping that chatter did indeed summon the Meltdown. Okay, Brothers at End. Same thing. Okay, so you just float mana. Let this happen. So I can go X equals 9 and have the ability to make a Saga token. That's probably better than going X equals 10, right? So I'm only going to get 2 of these if because of the Saga chapter shuffle. Probably get Expedition Map off the Saga. No force? Nice. It's a bit weird, but I think I'm going to go for this turn. I guess I could have attacked for one more. Do you consider the Songcraft Returns deck a potential good deck? Looks so fun. I mean, you could win matches with it. Like, we played one league and we 3-2'd. I think it's one that you could definitely play and tune and play at F&M. I think it's very unlikely to be a good tournament deck. Has Ugin been as good as feared? No, Ugin has not been as good as feared. Or at the very least, like, the whole format is just pretty ready for Eldrazi, which I've kind of been enjoying this dynamic. That Eldrazi is, at least at the beginning, was like public enemy number 1. Nice. Do you think Prowess should bring in Blood Moons in their sideboard in events? Yeah, I mean, I think you should. I had some Blood Moons in my Izzet sideboard. I think the Titan matchup is probably bad enough that you want access to some copies. Although, of course, it is a big problem that your plan against Titan is to board in a 3-mana card. We could cast Ugin next turn if we draw Ugin, right? Turn 2 Ugin. If we draw it. Unfortunately, you need it in your hand to cast it. And they also, you need your opponent to not portable hole your chalice. Okay, and they have an Emery, so we're looking to draw another mana battery. They did thankfully mill nothing good here. We can get a mana battery off the Saga at the very least. It's very minor, but in these kind of spots, it is correct to put a charge counter on your own Coretapper so that you can maybe pull it off with a Power Conduit. So they equip the Shadow Spear to the Emery. All right, let's cast our Karn. Probably just plussing. Yeah, Tunnel Ingus is probably a better Titan sideboard card, even though I have Blood Moon in mine. You know what? Hold on. Oh, I didn't have Blood Moon in this one. Yeah, but I keep forgetting that the current builds of Titan are really bad at beating Ingus, so... Okay, I'll do this later, but... The Ingus, good. Anti-Titan tool these days. Plus on Shadow Spear. Oh yeah, I guess we should have done that. Although it's not going to be that different. But I think I agree it would have been correct. They have a Kappa Cannoneer. So I drew an Urza Saga. So can't do much with the Paradox Engine plan again. If I get a Everflowing Chalice, I can play Mox Opal, tap Mox Opal, 3 counters on the Chalice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 after I play my land. Seems like I should just cast Ensnaring Bridge, though. And weirdly get a little bit rewarded for not plussing on the Shadow Spear. Main deck Needle, naming Karn. Now, in older builds, this would be kind of a problem. You mostly win with Karn, but we can win with Fleshraker. And in this spot, we're going to go map for Inventors Fair for Mystic Forge. Although I don't know if we're going to have enough mana to do that all this turn. Okay, I mean, the Saga tokens just don't really matter, but it might be right to make 1. I don't think we're ever making 2 here. So if I sack here at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is exactly enough to cast a Mystic Forge. Oh wait, no, I miscounted because I counted this land being tapped. Okay, so we'll just chill for a turn. Gain a life. Now it's going to be pretty important that we are able to pay for a Metallic Rebuke. I think I'm just going to need a backup Everflowing Chalice in case they kill my first one. Although we are going to cash in the Coretapper also. Oh, I guess I did miscount actually, because I get Metallic Rebuked here, and my Glaring Fleshraker, they can respond to the Fleshraker trigger, so we're gonna pass. Now they can attack with Imri, which is probably gonna be fine. In these kind of games, there's just like not much reason to. Is this only at sorcery speed, anyways? Oh, you can do it at instant speed. Okay, draw 2 off of a Thought Cast. Yeah, we could have found Opal there. Had to float mana with Opal first. Should be okay though. Like I don't really even know how they can possibly win against this setup. Game 1, like they just shouldn't have an answer to bridge. Maybe they have like an Ode of War or a Sing Into the Stupor. It would have to be something like that. Well, there's a K command. Probably gets the job done. Don't need that second counter on the Karn, I guess. This is gonna be lethal. You just gotta go through the motions here. All right, going to game 2. Nice, relaxing, no sideboard deck. Where did you put your copies of Eternal Witness? Probably in your Abzan Rec deck or Abzan Ritual deck. I don't think there's really any other Witness deck. That deck's been pretty good though. Oh, you're trying to put it together? Okay. Well, good luck. I think that might be what I would take to an RCQ this weekend if I was going to an RCQ this weekend. I just feel so comfy with it. I don't know. It's hard to articulate, maybe. I need to dig through my collection and sell like my gifts and givens. I know I have 8 gifts and given. I don't even really know how this happened. That I ended up playing gifts and given in 2 different tournaments. But both times I didn't think I had gifts and given, and I bought a playset, and only one of those times I was right. But now it's really paid off. Could you have gained an extra counter by playing the Saga first and removing the Saga counter? I mean, I just removed a Karn counter instead, so it's the same number of counters. It doesn't. You could have taken it from that, or you could have taken it from. Okay, weird hand. We have to mulligan. You could have taken it from just the chalice that was tapped. But typically, you want to tick up your sagas and not peel it off the first chapter if you can help it. Sometimes you can't help it, of course. All right, let's keep this on 6. Might mulligan on 7. Why did Gibson go up? It got unbanned in Commander yesterday. Okay, play this on turn 1 so we can get a Everflowing Chalice, or yeah, Everflowing Chalice. Right, I think we cast the Fleshraker here. Why was it banned in the first place? So they unbanned a lot of cards yesterday and I didn't read the announcement, but the general vibe was that they unbanned a lot of old combo cards that are worse than existing combos. I do think it's pretty silly the cards like Biorhythm and Sway of the Stars and Gifts Ungiven were banned when Demonic Consultation Oracle is legal, but it does, like, they did kind of buff Demonic Consultation Oracle at the same time, so I don't know, maybe that point isn't that good. They're making a construct in response, thinking I might needle them. They moved the ban cards into game changers, I see. Yeah, I still haven't kept up too much with how the system works. But I think it's fun to like hear how people are thinking about Commander. You know, Commander is so important to the game, and it's just the most played and talked about format. But I'm very out of touch always with what's going on there. Okay, it looks like they do have the Rebuke. Now I need to decide if I'm going to exile the construct and draw a card. I think no. Part of the issue, in my opinion, is everyone knows the Oracle Consort is Try Hard Sweat, but a card like Biorhythm looks like a Timmy Funtime card. I guess. It's also, like, isn't Biorhythm like 8 mana, though? You know? Like, you know, if you get no creatures in play and the 8 mana spell gets cast, maybe it's just like... At the very least, I would have a lot of fun if someone cast a Biorhythm. Or like, you know, how much better is Biorhythm than Craterhoof Behemoth? You ever K command for 0 to play around Rebuke? Well, I don't think that's as good because we don't really like, they don't care so much about the K command if it's only on 0, right? I might K command X equals 0 on this, or maybe I guess it would be better to block and then go on this one. Yeah, I don't really want to be taking 15. Sway is miserable if the caster can't end the game quickly. So, okay, so here's the thing too, is it's like there are some cards that were like Sway was miserable, but it was bad. Like, is miserable bad enough of a reason to be on a ban list in Commander? I'm sincerely asking, but at the very least, when I played a lot of Commander, miserable bad was like a big part of the appeal of a lot of cards that saw play. Like just goofy, slow the game down. This was a lot of fun when I used to play a lot of Commander, and I haven't played a lot of Commander in a long time, so I'm just kind of genuinely asking. But to me, I kind of like cards like this. People used to enjoy not having fun. Yeah, I definitely played in the people liked not having fun era. Miserable slowdown in the game is not fun for most people. Okay, cool. Because to me, I always loved when these cards resolved. But this was like in maybe 2013 or something when I played a lot of Commander. Okay, so I could take 15 so that I could try to resolve Ugin if I draw a land next turn. That's probably what I have to do. I guess the problem with this though is they could Shadow Spear me. Yeah, I think I'm too cold to Shadow Spear if I do that. And I could also just draw a 0 maybe and still Ugin them. Is Biorhythm legal in Modern? I don't know. I don't know if it's legal in Modern. Maybe I should know, but I don't. Okay, we did draw land. Play it out, but I think we're dead here. You have to jump off with both. Let's just go to game 3. So another question to the Commander players, and I am just kind of trying to learn and understand. If Sway of the Stars is really unfun and you disagree with it being banned, or sorry, you disagree with it being unbanned, is there a card that is legal in Commander that you think is more unfun than Biorhythm would be? Or sorry, not Biorhythm. I get maybe Biorhythm, but I mean Sway of the Stars. Like, is there a card that is legal that you think is less fun than Sway of the Stars? Does that make sense? Just wondering. I'm with you, Sparking Spike. Most Commander players now prefer Battle Cruiser Magic, which I find uninteresting. I find it uninteresting too, but again, it's it's their format. I once upon a time did love Commander and played a lot of it, but I'm a different man now. Farewell, Possibility Storm, Worldfire, Rhystic Study, Stormco, Sol Ring. Sol Ring, good base dancer. Is Rift still legal? How are you? Yeah, Rift is I started playing Commander like around when Rift came out, and I don't know. I had a good time with Rift, but it was a gross card. What is it meant by Battle Cruiser Magic? Just kind of like I know what Battle Cruiser Magic is, but defining it's kind of tough. It's like very normal Magic might be the way to phrase it. Like, you ramp, you play creatures, you draw cards, and then and everyone is kind of engaging in the same way there. Like, everyone is ramping. It's like ramp, creature, draw cards, ramp, creature, draw cards. And there's not a lot of like big flashy spells. It's not very instant and sorcery focused. That might be the way to phrase it. Zero interaction, big dudes. That might be the way to phrase it. Don't know how things move forward. The old RC, Rule Committee, saw the ban list as an example list of things they think negatively impact the play experience. It wasn't meant to manage all format health like other format ban lists. Some cards may be legal that are similar or even worse to other cards on the list. Okay, I'm just trying to absorb this again. And I really don't like to offer a lot of commentary on Commander because there's so many people's other, like, so many other Magic content creators, like, entire thing is understanding Commander and dissecting it and really trying to process what's happening. And for me, this is just not something I feel really qualified to chime in so much on. All right, so we could save this Saga, but I think it's a bit better to get the extra mana on this Chalice this turn, and we can just start scamming this Saga. All right, the Surge Node's countered. So if they have a portable hole, that'll be pretty scary for us next turn. Well, they unbanned Biorhythm yesterday, Makeshift. They unbanned a lot of cards. Braids too. I remember when I was playing Commander a lot, Braids was banned as a commander because like Dark Ritualing it out on turn 2 is like really gross. But you could play it in your deck. And Arayo was banned as a commander, but you could play it in your deck. And I had Arayo in my decks, and some people in my playgroup had Braids, and then they banned them all. And I remember like our group like didn't like that they did that. So it does feel like they have another copy of Rebuke here. Sway. Oh, I thought Biorhythm got unbanned. Okay, I remembered. Although I think I'm gonna grab an Everflowing Chalice still. And if they counter Coretapper, they counter Coretapper. So they didn't counter Coretapper. Coalition Victory. Okay, I guess. Wait, what is Coalition Victory? I actually don't even know the text on that one. They said they might unban Biorhythm next year. Okay. Thank you. So Commander's run by WotC now. Yeah, there was a big drama. Was it last year? It might have been beginning of this year. And they got rid of the rules committee and they added this bracket system thing. And I don't know. I just kind of watch and I watch and learn. And you guys fill me in. And I know as soon as I sell my commander decks, I'm gonna get invited to a cool commander show. My entire play group essentially ignored the bracket system development. I mean, that's good. I remember like I had a play group in college, and it was just very fun doing whatever. But of course, like most people don't play that way, or at least people who go to LGSs don't play that way. But I do think that is the best way to play if you can do it. Although I do recommend like Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder or something like that instead on your Friday nights. All right, so let's get a expedition map, I think. So if I cast Ugin, I can't actually exile the Emry. So maybe I want to Mystic Forge this turn. Okay, I'm 1 mana short of casting Karn. I sure do want to play this card in this game, so I'll just make a Saga token and pass. Can you, if you 0 and Coretapper? Play 0 and Coretapper. I guess I could, but then I don't know if that's better than playing the Mystic Forge. Spike plays Kiora Sea Monsters Professor this week. Shuffle up and play. Yeah, I feel like if I came on for like and I played my casual sea monster deck, it would be the most confusing thing ever. And then like that would be like so many people's first impression of me, as I show off my Yokel Mordor and my Polar Kraken and my I have a Dan in the deck. I have a Sea Serpent. Just all of the worst goofy ones you've ever seen. Okay, Wear Tear, kill a Chalice, kill a Saga. I still have basically 5 mana, counting the Power Conduit. So enough to play the Karn next turn, but they do have Rebuke up. Let's go ahead and get rid of this Devourer of Destiny. I'm going to go ahead and cast this, because if they have a counter spell, I'd rather them counter this instead. Okay, nice. So they probably don't have one. Famous last words, potentially. Nice. So we're going to win the game next turn, and we got Karn online. Feeling pretty good. Combo kill with Paradox Engine next turn. Would I rather go on Wubbies or the Game Grumps magic shows? I guess I'm not familiar with the Game Grumps. I'm not super familiar with Wubby, but I've watched like some of his like game show stuff he's done, and Esther really likes it. Yeah, I think it's very funny, but I like loosely know that Wubby has a commander show. I guess I would prefer that one, but I just don't really know the Game Grumps. When I watch Wubby's like comedy sketch stuff, me and Esther watch it together. Sometimes it feels like they're alternate reality us. Kitten with the Twitch Prime, thank you. Welcome back. If I was 60% more unhinged and Esther was the same amount of unhinged. All right, block here. Man, nobody let me Paradox Engine. Okay, so 4-1. We beat Boros, lost to Boros. Beat Eldrazi, beat Affinity. I don't even remember what the other matchup was, but I think I'm pretty likely to want to play this in the challenge this weekend, just because it does feel like Ugin is kind of fading. But I think this is the best Ugin deck, the best at casting it, and the best at utilizing it. Really saw that in the first match of this league. I also feel like it's just pretty solid. There's not really any changes I want to make. I'll look at the Karn board again before we play it on Friday. Yeah, maybe out the prediction. That is going to be it for me today. I should. Pretty soon we'll be back.